I had a great comment on my last video from a field service engineer by the name of Had S. Had is a field service engineer in Canada. He's going to be moving to Pittsburgh for a new position. This new position is going to be in a new industry, and he had a couple questions about how to negotiate for this new job that he's going to be starting. So in today's video, we're talking about job negotiation. Oh, the three things I'm mainly going to cover in this video are going to deal with salary, benefits, and working hours. Welcome back to Untitled Label, where we strive for greatness through optimization. I'm John, I'm a field service engineer, and on this channel, I talk about all things relating to being a field service engineer. If this is your first time watching Untitled Label, welcome to the channel, and I hope you get some kind of value watching this video. If you do, consider subscribing or sharing this video with someone else that might find it interesting as well. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back, and thank you so much for your support. With that said, let's get into today's video. The first thing we're going to cover today is going to be working hours. As a field service engineer, we have a little bit of an advantage as far as making our schedule per se. You're still most likely going to work during normal working hours, which is going to be between probably 8 to 5 or so. However, you do have a little bit more flexibility than the average person. You're probably going to wonder, when are you considered on the clock? This is something that you're going to want to ask your employer just to make sure. For me, I have a little bit more flexibility as I am able to work sometimes after hours to answer emails or get reports done that are needed, as well as even on the weekends if need be. I think by being able to schedule my own hours per se and actually work around the clock, I'm able to actually get more done. I don't necessarily have to only work within that range of time. This allows me to be more productive, which in turn kind of saves the company a little bit more money as well. So to answer the question about what working hours should be when it comes to job negotiation, ask your employer if they have clear defined working hours, and are they going to be okay if you work outside of those hours, say to work a little bit ahead, as long as you're still being productive. When it comes down to it, if they're seeing the productivity, it shouldn't really be a big issue. Another aspect you're going to want to take into account is your PTO. How much PTO are you earning per pay period? This is something that's going to be important when it comes to taking vacation and taking little breaks here and there. You want to make sure you're earning your days off as you're working as well. At the end of the day, everyone wants a big paycheck, but most important is going to be your work-life balance. I think for me personally, the fact that I have a pretty good work-life balance allows me to be content, be happy, and stay motivated with moving forward in life. See what works best for you and see if your employer is going to be okay with you working outside of those working hours per se. While I'm making this video, if you're someone that's in the Boston area and you are interested in being a field service engineer, you've watched a few of my videos, you know what it takes to be a field service engineer, and you have those characteristics, reach out to me as I may have an opportunity for you to join a great team. Also, if you're in LinkedIn and you want to join two great communities for field service engineers, make sure you check out Field Service/Customer Support Engineer, as well as the Field Service Engineer. I'll have links to both of those groups in the description below. Make sure to join, as they have a lot of experience, a lot of valuable information for anyone striving to be a field service engineer. The next topic I'll cover is going to be salary. Now, salary is going to be based on two things: experience and aptitude. The first one is going to be experience. Someone that's been a field service engineer for 10 years is going to have way more experience, had seen a lot more in his days or her days versus someone that's just getting off the ground, starting this new career path. Experience is going to be the testament of time. With that taken into consideration, I think another thing should be that if you're someone that gets their hands on the equipment a lot more frequently than someone that does not, your experience and what you're able to do is going to come at a much faster rate. This is something to take into account when talking about experience. If you can show your employer how many pieces of equipment, everything you've done since you started, depending on whether you've been doing field service for a long time or a short time, this is going to help you show that you have experience, you have skin in the game. Alongside that comes aptitude. Aptitude is going to be your ability to pick up the information that you're learning, retain it, and apply it. If you're someone that's able to learn information rather quickly, you're actually able to retain the information and put it into practice and be successful with the things that you're learning. That also has some weight in the game. Field service engineers have to be quick thinkers and able to think on their feet. Being someone that has that high level of aptitude is going to help you gain that experience at a much faster rate as well. So if you're someone that's new, you're worried about maybe working for that next promotion, you don't have the experience per se, don't let that slow you down. Continue to grind, continue to study, work hard, learn the new equipment, and eventually you're going to get that experience at a much faster rate. Just trust the process. Lastly, when it comes to salary, is taking into consideration any additional pays that you may get that comes into your paycheck. I know I do, since I use my personal vehicle to get around town and get to customer sites. So take into account those extra pays that you may get for being a field service engineer and having that job title, and see how you can use those to negotiate a salary. Lastly, don't overlook this part of the topic, but that's going to be benefits. You want to have things that are a must-have for you when it comes to benefits, things that are going to make or break you taking the position or even applying for that position. Also, consider some of the benefits that can turn into monetary surpluses per se. By this, I mean any kind of 401k match or FSA match that may be offered to you, as this can actually be another means for you to earn a little bit of extra income or put a little bit of money to the side for the future. When it comes to this department, one thing that people may not know is some companies, actually probably a lot of companies, get tax write-off for 401ks. So if they're offering you a 401k, take advantage of the 401k match and put that money aside as well. Not only does this help you save towards your future, it helps the company as well, because that's a little bit of a tax write-off. Well, that kind of brings us to the end of the video. I'm going to mention a few key points that you should take into account when negotiating for that new job. One and foremost, be realistic. Do actual concrete research. Find numbers, find data that you can actually show to whoever you're negotiating with as to why you deserve that amount. Make sure it's a realistic number first and foremost. Next is, do your skill sets actually match up to that number that you found? Do you have the skills to demonstrate why you deserve that amount? Do you bring more than that number to the table? Do you have extra skills that aren't being taken into account? Bring that to the table as well as more evidence. Lastly, for those chasing the big bag, just remember the grass isn't always greener on the other side. By that, I mean, when I was in the Navy, it wasn't necessarily what I did that made the experience great. It was the people that I worked with that made it worth it. At the same time, if you work with a good team, people that you enjoy, that make the job what it is, take that into account before you jump ship, because you may not have that same environment at the new place. So with that said, I'll catch you. Whoa. He forgot to do the outro. So lastly, if you did enjoy this video and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe again, as it helps the channel grow and it doesn't cost you a thing. If you enjoyed this video and you're interested in seeing something that's a little bit more personal to me, make sure to follow me on Instagram at @thatmain. You can also check out my other YouTube channel called John Mission. So with that said, I'll catch you on the next one.